with excellent, discipline, reduce, and high achievement students.
In the future, it won't be only intelligence that is necessary for our life. We must also master other essential factors. These include skills in information technology, soft skills, character building, and how to successfully network with others. In mastering these, one can surely face in the competitive future. It won't be only intelligence that is necessary. These factors can be achieved through education, master by choosing the right school as a facilitator. These include skills in information technology, a supportive library, skills, character building, advanced technology, network with others, a cozy learning environment, these and many other supported facilities. Networking is also another factor in preparing oneself to face this global world. When someone has these factors mentioned above, it can be guaranteed that he will be undoubtedly ready to face the competitive global world. Our international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has provided all of these. Not only do we offer the standard K through 13 curriculum, but we also provide A-level Cambridge material here at our international class.
Well, international class propose K13 plus A-level curriculum in Cambridge to enrich students' English skill. As Indonesian, we can't forget our cultural value. That's why we offer character building and ICT skill in teaching-learning process. Meanwhile, the teachers are well trained in English skill for social and science subjects. International class also provide native speaker and extensive social networking to prepare the students to face global world.
This English-based learning approach will be applied here for our lessons in the international class. Our teachers are well trained to teach and communicate in English in both social and science subjects, as well as mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, sociology, geography, and economics. Native teachers and speakers will also be present here in the learning experience to enrich your students' English skills. A comfortable and satisfying learning environment can indeed be found here on these premises. Clean and comfortable high-tech classrooms, a complete and sophisticated school library, as well as extracurricular activities with which to develop the students' soft skills are provided here at the international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta.
SMA Batik 1 has a lot of things to support our interests. I'm glad that I have learned and improved my soft skill in here. Learning Indonesian traditional music ensemble, gamelan, makes me feel proud to be Indonesian next generation. I gain a lot of things in here because SMA Batik 1 is the school that has international standards.
To establish extensive social networking, we provide a comparative field of study abroad. The international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has also collaborated with universities abroad such as UTM, University Technical Malaysia Malacca, Raja Manggala University of Technology Kruntep, Life Universal Cambodia, Glasgow Caledonian University Scotland, and Chemical Institute of Sharia, Spain.
I was beyond happy that SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has given me a chance to represent Indonesia as a performer on an international level through the Chingai Parade. I learned and I gained a lot. I got to show off my traditional dancing ability. I got a chance to meet the Singapore president. I also went to the Indonesian embassy there, and I also met lots of amazing performers from all around the world. SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has prepared for our English speaking ability so that I have become more confident in speaking English.
So what are you waiting for? Achieve a bright future and become a generation ready for the ever-changing world of challenges by joining the international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta. As always, we thank you for your visit, and we truly look forward to learning with you soon. See you in class.
about it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Good afternoon, Cecilia. Great. Hari, yeah, it's good. Alhamdulillah. Well, alhamdulillah. And then good afternoon, all of you, the audience from Malaysia and also from Indonesia, all of my students, and then especially for Professor Dr. Khairul and then all the teams from the University of Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, and hopefully you'll us in the great condition. Well, and then I will call a question from the student from class 10. Are you there? I will call Lala. Nasla, are you there? How are you?
The device dia tak support. Apa?
Lala? Okay. Well, can I call Abigail? Are you there, Abigail?
Yes, Miss.
Abigail, are you there? Okay, not yet, but maybe all of them still preparing. Yeah. Okay, we will wait for you guys. So please prepare for this. We will start at on 1 up to 2 minutes. So please prepare all of the questions and then enjoy your time. We will start it, and then in time we start it. Please ready with your, curiosity, because we will share about what is the theme of today, Miss?
The theme is learning in digital age,
Good.
the ideal usage of technology for teenage.
That's right. So, not waiting too long. Now, welcome to TED Talk with University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, UNIMY, with the theme Learning in Digital Age, the ideal usage of technology for teenage in SMA Batik 1 Surakarta.
Satu persatu konsumen di pasar swalayan di Kencong, Jember, Jawa Timur diminta mencelupkan jarinya ke tinta.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, dear audiences. First of all, let us pray to and thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for the mercy so that we can gather in this special occasion.
And then the second, salam and salawat, let's be for upon Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that has brought us from the dark into the light.
Well, and then it's very special occasion. Let me to greet first for the first the Honorable Professor Dr. Khairul Baharein Muhammad Noor as the Director of UNIMY Academic and International.
The second, the Honorable Mr. Sultana SPD MPD as the Principal of SMA Batik Surakarta.
And then for the next, the Honorable Report of UNIMY Academic and International.
The next, the Honorable, the teachers and team of International Class SMA Batik Surakarta.
Well, and of course, our beloved students from SMA Batik Surakarta. And yeah, we welcome you again in this very special occasion. Welcome to our agenda, first topic, University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, UNIMY, with the theme Learning in Digital Age, the ideal usage of technology for teenage.
Dan Miss Fitria, in this very special occasion, let me, Dia Sitarahmi, and my friend,
Yeah, my name is Fitria Kusumandewi,
to lead you for the whole agenda for today.
well, and then I will read first the rundown or the term of reference for this agenda. At first, we will have the opening. The second, there will be the welcome speech. And then from SMA Batik Surakarta, and then the third, the welcome speech from the UNIMY. And then the following, there will be the main agenda, and then the discussion. And then the last, we will be on the end, the discussing.
Yeah. So without further ado anymore, let's just begin this agenda. Let's cite basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Well, in with saying Bismillah, hopefully, Miss, in this agenda, all will us as from the first and the end of the agenda. And then the following agenda, there will be the welcoming speech from the headmaster, from the principal of SMA Batik Surakarta. So I will invite Mr. Sultana, Bachelor of Education and Magister of Education. For Mr. Sultana, the time is yours.
Ya, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, syukurillah. La haula wala quwata illa billah. Asyhadu alla ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammad abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, kita bersyukur hari ini kita dalam kondisi sehat walafiat. Harapannya kita selalu semangat dan kita dimudahkan untuk beribadah sehingga nantinya kita banyak mendapatkan satu keberkahan di hidup ini sehingga kita selalu semangat dan sehat. Yang kedua kalinya salawat salam semoga tercurahkan Rasulullah Muhammad SAW dan semoga nantinya kita mendapatkan syafaatnya, Allahumma amin. Yang kami hormati rekan-rekan dari tim IT dan kelas internasional SMA Batik Surakarta, segenap para siswa, guru, dan orang tua yang kami banggakan, juga yang kami hormati dari UNIMY Malaysia, yang terhormat Profesor Dr. Khairul Baharein bin Mohd Noor, dan terima kasih kerawahannya, dan kami ucapkan terima kasih dan selamat datang di SMA Batik Surakarta, meskipun dalam posisi online atau daring, tidak mengurangi rasa hormat kami dan harapan kami besar bahwa kita tidak hanya bisa ketemu di daring, tapi bisa ketemu di luring. Apakah kami kami akan ke Malaysia atau bahkan kami akan kunjungan ke Indonesia. Yang kami hormati dari UNIMY, kami kenalkan bahwa kami segenap guru karyawan, salam taklim untuk panjenengan semuanya. Dan kami SMA Batik Surakarta adalah sekolah swasta yang tahun ini kami lolos di program sekolah penggerak. Dan kami tahun ini mencoba untuk memfasilitasi potensi bakat dari anak-anak, terutama anak-anak yang pengen untuk kuliah atau melanjutkan jenjang perkuliahan di luar negeri. Berbagai MOU yang sudah kami dapatkan sebelum pandemi memacu kami untuk segera mendirikan kelas internasional ini dengan harapan bahwa para siswa bisa terfasilitasi untuk kuliah di luar negeri. Harapan kami hari ini adalah salah satu kerjasama kita dengan Malaysia bisa membantu kami untuk ya minimal persiapan anak-anak, karena kami menyadari betul bahwa di masa pandemi ini kami tidak bisa mengadakan persiapan secara matang ataupun pertukaran pelajar juga tidak bisa, sehingga harapannya tidak mengurangi rasa hormat kami para anak-anak dan para orang tua bahwa kita mencoba untuk tetap ada hubungan, ada persiapan meskipun lewat daring. Para peserta berbahagia bahwa harapan kami ada kerjasama yang menguntungkan baik kedua pihak, baik kami maupun di Malaysia. Baik itu nanti webinar ataupun nanti dalam bentuk MOU, MOE ataupun dalam bentuk yang lain. Ya, bahkan kami sangat berbahagia misalkan nanti ada sebuah kegiatan pertukaran pelajar ataupun proses peningkatan nilai-nilai dari yang bisa didapat dari kami, bisa pembelajaran, bisa penilaian yang bisa di-share ke kami di Indonesia. Dan mohon para siswa bisa memanfaatkan momen ini selain bisa berkomunikasi dengan pihak luar negeri, perguruan tinggi di luar sana, tapi juga bisa memanfaatkan kerjasama ini untuk persiapan bahwa di sana seperti ini, apa yang harus disiapkan, sehingga nantinya apa yang kita harapkan para anak-anak untuk bisa menyambung perkuliahan tidak hanya di dalam negeri, tapi bisa di luar negeri. Dan mohon maaf, hari ini kita dengan Malaysia, kemarin sudah dengan Thailand, bentar lagi kita akan dengan Jerman. Harapannya semuanya bisa memfasilitasi para anak-anak, potensi yang ada di diri anak-anak bisa kami fasilitasi. Tidak hanya prestasi akademik dan akademik, seni budaya, tapi barangkali niat, minat, semangat bahwa anak-anak mampu berprestasi, bisa kuliah, menembus beasiswa ke luar negeri. Dan harapan kami hari ini, monggo webinar hari ini bisa bermanfaat bagi semuanya. Ada hal-hal yang baru bisa kami dapatkan dan harapannya ke depan kami bisa maju, bisa berprestasi dan bisa berkembang. Terima kasih dan mohon bimbingannya dari UNIMY Malaysia dan kami terima kasih sekali. Harapan kami kerjasama ini tidak hanya di webinar tapi bisa berlanjut ke kegiatan-kegiatan yang lain. Terima kasih dan salam semangat, sehat semuanya. Kami akhiri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for their support for Mr. Santana. So hopefully students, especially by this agenda, we can gain some information to study abroad, especially in Malaysia, in the University of Science, Computer Science and Engineering, or UNIMY. Okay. And then now for the following agenda, what is it? Please. it is the main agenda actually, Miss. And then the following agenda is the welcoming speech from you and I and Y, followed by the main agenda, that is learning in digital age, the ideal usage of technology for teenage. But before we go on into the next agenda, that is our main agenda, please Ms. Fitria will read the biography from our sources. Okay, I will read the important city from Professor Dr. Khairul Baharein in Mohd, and then he was born on the next December 6th of 1958 from Taipei, Malaysia. And then for the email, that is Khairul.Noor at unimy.edu.ny. And then for the higher education, started from the Diploma Business Studies, University Technology from Maram. And then it follows with Bachelor of Science Business Administration, Indiana State University from Indiana, USA. And then he continued his study, Master of Business Administration, Mohd State University from Kentucky, USA. And then the Doctor of Philosophy, Liverpool John Moores University, United Kingdom, specialization, management training and quality. And then for the working experiences, that was so many. And then right now, he works in as the professor and director in Academic and International University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, UNIMY Science. And then right now, I will invite, please welcome for Professor Dr. Khairul bin Mohd.
Thank you very much to the chairperson.
Good afternoon, Professor Khairul. What should I call you? Professor Khairul, am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, so nice to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine here in Malaysia. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me on this occasion.
Yeah, great. So that's your time to deliver about our theme today. That's a very interesting topic. That is about learning in digital age, the ideal usage of technology for teenage. The time is yours, Mr.
Okay, thank you very much, chairperson. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Pertama sekali saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Sultana Batik, Principal SMA 1 Surakarta, dan juga all the audience yang ada bersama kita pada hari ini. In fact, we hope the MOU would continue, and we hope that many students from your side, Bapak Sultana, will join us for their higher degree in UNIMY or University of Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering. So our core area are actually computer science, and of course another one is the engineering. So I was given a topic with regards to this learning in digital age, okay, technology for the teenagers. So do I start with the series of this talk now? Okay. Basically, can we share the slide? I have some slides to share for this session. Okay, learning in digital age, the ideal usage of technology for teenagers. So as we know, in this era of digital age, we are surrounded by so-called this technology. So the rate of technological change shows no sign of slowing down. In fact, technology has been the leading massive changes in our life, in our economy, and as well as the way we communicate with each other. So we can see that increasingly now, with this pandemic of COVID-19, the need of technology has surged. And in fact, in every area of our education sector now, highly dependent on technology. That is why now a lot of universities as well as all the education institutions are moving towards having and ensure a successful integration of technology for the lecturers and as well as for the student. This is to ensure that we have smooth delivering of our education to the students. One is the digital age of learning. We live in this information age, which is a period of historic characterized by a shift from traditionally industrial production to now being in our information age and computerization, and changing significantly how people interact in business and other way of how we interact and as how we live. Now, information is readily available and free in and everywhere. So we can easily grab information with a click using our technology, tablets or desktop or laptop. We can get volume of information. You know, for example, if you do research in some area, for example, in entrepreneurship, you know, you can just by click, you get voluminous of articles, journals available, and that go infinite. So in a way, we can see that digital learning using the technology has enabled us to grasp as much as information and as the latest information that we can grasp, or we say just-in-time access, to become now being the paramount in our society, that we bring in what we say that, you know, research that is of highly quality paper. So basically, when we talk about digital learning, what are the characteristics of digital learning? Can we go to the next slide? So basically, these are the components of digital age learning. Number one, we talk about engage through an exceptional and relevant learning experience. As we all know, what has attracted us now is that people are highly dependent on technology. So the process of continuous lifelong happen. So that is where we grasp the information that we need by our fingertips. And in fact, the way that we learn now become more relevant and more advanced. So this has enabled us through our learner-centered learning process or curriculum that are designed to meet specific purpose. So in that context, our experiential of learning become more advanced, and we tend to be more forward-thinking in doing our jobs, or even in the way that we acquire knowledge in today's world of learning. Secondly, we are talking about empowering, personalized, and self-directed. The development in technology, in digital technology, have enabled learners to choose what, how, and where they want to learn. So basically, they seek learning that is more personalized to them, that fit into their preference and needs. They want one size fits one learning solution. A culture of self-directed learning is strongly emerging, with individuals directing towards which learning to follow. So in other words, we are saying that the pace that we want to learn is dependent on ourselves. So we take into our own self of the time that, you know, we want to learn, where we want to learn, even what we want to learn. So all those are within our confinement or within our way of doing things. Thirdly, ubiquitous, just in time, on demand, and in context. Now, what digital learning is all about, it is something that a learner will want to learn at the time that he or she needs to know specific skills or knowledge. That is why in some contexts, people learn through video. They learn fast through that, and and they can solve their issue or their problem within that specific time. They seek learning that is more personalized to them, that fit their individual preferences, as well as the individual are directed towards which learning they want to follow. So this is what we mean by ubiquitous, just in time. The next item of characteristic of digital learning is that the right blend of experiential, social, informal, and formal. Learning happen continuously in a multiplicity of contexts and modes, supported by technologies that enable any learner to easily access internal and external information, as well as interact with networks, like, for example, we are doing right now with experts and peers all over the world. Mixing format makes learning more effective. Choosing the right format for the right purpose is crucial. So those are the right blend of experiential. The next item is hyper-connected with analytics everywhere. What we mean by this context is that digital age learners must be able to connect with learning resources, information, peers, and experts to effectively learn in this digital age. Providing simple tools that enable this connection is important for learning organization. Additionally, analytics can provide insight on the learners, their own development needs, what assets can meet their needs, how those assets are consumed, how learning can be improved, and how effective learning activities are. And finally, continuous, based on inquiry, exploring, and doing. It is critical for individuals to own their development and continuously learn. So learning is something lifelong. We need to place learning as a constant to enable us to stay relevant in whatever we do and however we learn. Learning design must promote inquiry, exploring, and doing, so that learners are able to research solution to specific situation and build their own answers based on collective experience and existing knowledge. So this is one of the advantage of so-called this digital learning. So learning is not limited. So it is a combination from various sources that make us more mature, and in fact, we become more, in terms of solution, we build our experience and develop our knowledge from as a result of this digital learning. Now, next slide. I would like to share with audience now, what are the concepts to understand in learning in digital age. Basically, we have three concepts that we must understand in order for us to progress in this so-called digital learning age. These three particular forces that affect the way we learn online. The first one is talking about what we call heutagogy. Now, heutagogy refers to the study of self-determined learning. What we mean by here is that the approach focuses on the role of online instructors as a coach, a mentor or facilitator, and further encourage learners to become more self-directed. So instructors are being seen not as a teacher, but it's more of a coach or facilitating learning process. So this concept was laid down. This concept was laid down for many years by Stuart Hayes in 2000, but now it emerged and it becomes something that has embraced in the learning by this digital process. While effective heutagogy has root in andragogy, it doesn't refer to learning itself. It expands andragogy self-directed learning by focusing on metacognition and how people learn effectively online. So this is, I think, become more obvious in the reign of this era of pandemic of COVID-19. where a lot of learning are more self-directed, where we have to learn by ourselves. But however, the teacher or the instructor now become more of a coach and facilitator in the process of learning. So this is reverse from learning in class. Okay, so this is very common now, that self-directed learning can promote critical thinking among students, and also can help students to more focus on problem solving, more professional, and with some experiential. The second concept of this learning in digital age involve pedagogy or paragogy. What does pedagogy means? Pedagogy means it is aimed to be direct and more concrete. In other words, pedagogy refers to peer-based learning, where peers or group of learners learning together and teaching each other. So it's more of a consolidate among students, that they can gather themselves using this online learning, and then they can interact with each other, and the process of learning tend to be more faster, and a student can leverage on this mode of learning via what we call pedagogy or paragogy. Participants in this method of learning are able to use digital tools to construct knowledge and connect within themselves. So it is more of interactive learning, peer-to-peer, which would enhance the understanding more quicker as compared to learning in classroom. The third method or concept of learning is called cybergogy. The third one is cybergogy, where encourages learner engage in online environment. So that is where we are right now with the situation of this COVID. The term itself indicates that it has something to do with cyber. Cyber means internet. It focuses on helping adults learn effectively in a virtual environment. So in fact, in our university, we have, like, for example, from practical hands-on, now we have to find a mode of how to do it online. So the student has to put some kind of a virtual context of how they engage in the subject, and they are being evaluated by the professors. So this cybergogy replace face-to-face learning strategies. So it's no more applicable now. So cybergogy, more unique, is applicable to online instruction. It combines the fundamental of pedagogy and andragogy, and considers the unique benefits of technology enable learning for better learning results. In other words, using this online learning, we hope that students will provide better or significant results, even to the extent that some students who are poor or low performers, they were able to enhance their capability via this online study or online learning. Okay, so basically this idea was coined by Mi Juan Wang and Yun Hee Kang, who actually introduced what we call this cybergogy, where the learners not only interact behaviorally, emotionally, intellectually, but they are involved in some kind of learning task. Cybergogy require both student and instructor to into a relationship where the instructor is no longer the only source of knowledge. He places the control of knowledge directly in the hands of the learner. So learners or the students are more engaged in the context of this learning process. So these are the three concepts: pedagogy, paragogy, and cybergogy, when we talk about learning in this digital age. Okay. Now, next slide. So why are we trying to use digital technologies? I would like to link a little bit about this so-called flipped classroom, whereby this flipped classroom is an interesting tool used by the Americans, the Canadians, and the Australians, where students learn new content online by watching video or watching lectures usually at home, and what used to be at home to do assignment is now in class with teachers offering more personalized guidance and interaction with students instead of lecturing. What he's saying is, basically, when we talk about flipped classroom, we have moved from teacher-based classroom teaching into more of guided and interactive with student on a personalized tool, where this has been more effective in making the students to enable them to understand a subject more faster via this watching of videos and so on. So it's more of learning process that helps students, even to the extent that they can they can look at the lectures, even though within other times of their free. So it's not limited to classroom is time, but they can look at their leisure or within the specific time that they feel they want to re-look or re-study the lectures that they want to help them to become more understandable in the subject matter discussed. Okay, so this is advantage of these digital technologies. Next slide. So what are the benefits of this so-called digital learning? Of course, the first one is that digital learning makes students more smarter. Why we are saying that the digital learning make more smarter is basically that by digital learning process, the learning tools and technology enable the student to develop effective self-directed learning skills. They are able to identify problems at hand, and even to evaluate some of the issues that they face in the study of a subject, and they can even in terms of receiving some feedback from that. So this would engaging student with digital learning tools would certainly can sharpen their critical thinking skills, which would enable them to develop analytic reasoning. So this is one of the area that student could benefit via this learning by digital technology. Okay. Now, secondly, digital learning is making students more self-motivated and more accountable. We know that digital learning makes the student to have ample time to learn at their own pace and at their own during their own time that they feel they want to learn. So in this regard, student using this digital technology tools and technology become more engaged in the process and become more interested in the subject that they would want to learn. So this is what we mean by self-motivated and more accountable. Number three, digital learning tools involve educators and parents to some extent. Okay, apart from educators, parents can also use interactive activities to encourage their child's interest in learning, since the gamification makes the process much more enjoyable and interesting. In Malaysia, for example, during this COVID, parents are concerned with the capability and also with the acquisition of knowledge by the student. Therefore, they would also engage with their son or daughter during this study period, and this would certainly make the student more engaged, and they would more concentrate in the subject that they study. So this is one of the beauty of this digital learning at home. Okay. And number four, digital learning tools and technology is rapidly increasing information sharing. Of course, we can see that now with the use of this technology and also engaging in what we call this group learning, the information sharing tend to be more and at a higher end, and this would certainly make the student more intelligent in the subject they study, because the information that they bring in is voluminous, and moreover when they study with the peers, they feel that they can grasp more information within a short period of time. So this is the beauty of what we call digital learning. Okay. Finally, increases student employability with digital learning tools and technology. Of course, now learning is not limited to only to academic, but now with these micro credentials enable students to be more employable, so they can learn what the industry wants and what are the knowledge that are relevant to the industry. So this make them more mature, and in fact they become more knowledgeable in terms of the subject matter that they study. So it's not limited to purely knowledge, but they can see how this knowledge are being driven in terms of the industry relevant. So there is a link between what the students are learning and what the organization expect from the student. So this would certainly increase graduate employability and make them more market ready to meet the industry or the jobs as required in the future of their career. So I think with this, I end up my lecture, basically looking at what is digital learning and what are the three concepts, and finally, what are the benefits from this digital learning. So thank you very much for the audience, for your attentiveness. We hope that this short discussion has bring about some enhancement in your knowledge and experience. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, what a beneficial presentation from Surakarta, Khairul, Baharein, and Mohd. And I would like to say thank you for Professor Dr. Khairul Baharein. Now we are in the discussion session. The discussion session for Mr. Khairul Baharein. I will call all of my students that in this session we will have discussion. So maybe for about the first session, I will call any one of you wanna give some kind of questions. Please raise your hand. I will start right now. So the student must be free, Miss, yeah? Student must be active and really asking the questions to Professor Dr. Khairul Baharein, because we will have a special opportunity today, students. So therefore, let's come and ask. Okay. Yeah. So is there any? Please raise your hand. Nobody. Okay, if there is nobody raise a hand, I will. Oh yeah. From Kaisa. Kaisa. Okay. Yeah. Kaisa, please turn on your camera first.
Mungkin sedikit bertanya aja sih, karena meraba-raba ya Bu, karena kebetulan bahasa Inggrisnya nggak begitu paham, jadi sedikit-sedikit yang terakhir tadi aja sih.
From Kaisa, could you please introduce yourself first?
Mau ini aja. Mau minta sedikit penjelasan.
minta tolong untuk perkenalan diri dulu.
Oh ya, Kaisa
Ya.
dari kelas 11 IPS 4, Ibu.
Oke, ya sekali Kaisa.
Mungkin ini enggak ortunya, bukan Kaisanya sendiri.
Oh, baik. Oh iya,
Oke ya, sedikit ini apa namanya, menanggapi dari pernyataan terakhir tadi masalah benefit of digital learning ya Bu ya. Tadi kalau nggak salah ada 5 benefit yang sudah dipaparkan. Sejauh mana maksudnya ini berdasarkan dari penelitian atau bagaimana gitu ya Bu ya, mungkin ini hanya prosentase, maksudnya seberapa besar sih prosentase dari benefit ini yang bisa diperoleh, karena kenyataannya kita
mohon maaf, boleh untuk on-cam dahulu, mohon maaf sekali.
sudah 2 tahun ini ya Bu ya, kita digital learning ya Bu ya, anak rasanya bosen, kangen, pengen ketemu.
Ibunda dari Mbak Kaisa, minta tolong untuk on kamera dulu, bisa Bu? Mohon maaf.
Gimana Ibu, nggak jelas suaranya?
Oh, Mbak Kaisa minta tolong untuk dibantu Ibunda untuk bisa on kamera.
Ini saya lagi di luar soalnya Ibu.
Oh, sedang di luar.
Iya.
Baik.
Kebetulan
baik,
lagi
dilanjutkan, nanti saya sampaikan.
Iya, kebetulan lagi di luar. Jadi ini aja sih. Tadi sempat ngikutin yang terakhir masalah benefit tadi ya Bu ya. Digital learning pasti plus minusnya pasti ada gitu ya. Cuman sejauh mana sih benefit yang bisa diterima ini berdasarkan penelitian atau pengalaman selama ini setelah pembelajaran itu dilakukan gitu. Karena kita ini kan juga sudah 2 tahun digital learning juga ya. Kita walaupun kemarin sempat masuk 2 minggu Ibu, kita sudah booking kos 1 tahun, masuknya cuma 2 minggu. Begitu masuk langsung book. Itu Bu, rasanya menurut saya ya kayaknya tatap muka akan jauh lebih komunikatif, lebih dua arahnya lebih berhasil, karena kalau digital tuh anak sambil tiduran karpe dewe lah bahasanya, yang penting ikut gitu aja. Itu aja sih Bu, mungkin hanya butuh penjelasan lebih lanjut sejauh mana ininya. Terima kasih Ibu.
Terima kasih. Thank you so much for the parents of Khairul ya. Yes, ternyata for parents tuh ya. I will deliver to Professor Khairul. She asked about practical benefits of long distance learning right now. Sometimes with long distance learning, I also share as a picture sometimes like the students may not on the camera, or sometimes maybe the student can do any activities during the learning process, and then must ask is about what is the practical beneficial things from long distance learning activity. Could you please explain maybe, Mr.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for the question. Basically, traditionally, we look at how the process of lecturing in the university or in the college, they are more of face-to-face, one-way or two-way interactive communication. But nonetheless, with this pandemic, COVID has moved or shifted the way we lecture now become online. In fact, we have some universities in Malaysia that offer online courses in all over the parts of the world. So the interaction is more of teleconference, the minute the student have problem, they will interact with the lecturer online. So not face-to-face. So from our observation, in fact, we also study from the United States. We found that there is no significant difference between so-called conventional and this so-called online. Okay, but however, the beauty of online is that you can take the class anywhere, any parts of the world. So you're not subject to the classroom. So how many percent? There is a slight increase of what we call so-called effectiveness. The effectiveness of learning has increased. How many percent? Where that depend on the subject. Like for example, I can share with you in our university quite recent, we do some kind of survey between conventional learning and digital learning. Now, we found that based on this digital learning, there is quite a high improvement of the students who are poor in terms of their performance in face-to-face, that they perform well in online. So this is quite shocking. Why is that so? Because the student does not only depend on the lecturer for understanding of the subject or acquiring of knowledge, but they more of interactive between their peers. They get connected with each other, and the process of learning is much more faster. So I would say that there is an obvious percentage of increase using digital learning as compared to conventional learning. Because students, they can repeat the video of lectures that they want to understand the subject. Secondly, they also interact with their peers more often because the teenagers, they love using this gadget. So that make them more, what we say that more likely that they use more of online rather than on conventional, which is more of face-to-face. So that is what I can share with the audience that asked the question. So there's a percentage of increase, but how many percent, that depends on the subject. Depend on the subject. Okay, like for example, for our medical student, I think there's quite a big jump from those lower performers. They tend to be more well versed in the subject by learning online, and they perform well. And we have something like 30% increase in the performance of the student using online. So I'm saying that there is a positive increase in percentage. That's what I can share. Thank you.
Okay.
As the same, yeah, maybe for our experience as the teacher, Mr. Khairul said that if in digital, sometimes it's not only focusing on the teacher or the lecturer, but also can learning wider, because can search by themselves. But also said by Mr. Khairul that it depends on the subject itself, and Mr. Well, I think. And that also can free learning also as the same like our tagline right now, memberikan belajar ya Mas ya, as the sekolah menggerak. So like what our principal said before, that SMA Batik Surakarta is the part of the sekolah menggerak, and also inside it there is Merdeka Belajar, and it deals with that you said before. Well, now for the following students. Anyone of you? We still invite for the students. Okay, Dini Aulia from 11 MIPA. Yeah. Could you please on your cam? Yeah. Okay, please. Dini Aulia. Ask the questions, please. Yeah.
Harus perkenalan dulu nggak, Miss?
Yes, iya. Introduce yourself first. In what class are you?
Okay, my name is Dini Aulia. I'm from 11 Science 3.
Yeah.
I will ask, how do we deal with the misuse of technology on education system?
How do we deal? Can you repeat once more, dear?
How do we deal with the misuse of technology on education system?
Of the misuse. Okay. Yeah. Can we go to the following question, or it will be answered first from the Mr. Maybe it will be answered first. Well, please, Mr. Khairul from Dini Aulia asked about the misuse of this kind of technology maybe about how to what is it overcome if there will be a misuse of technology. Mr. Khairul. Mr. Khairul.
Okay, maybe while waiting for Mr. Khairul, maybe has a problem with the signal. Maybe we can continue into the next questions by the students.
Leia Maharani from 10-2, yes. Please, Leia, turn on your camera and turn on your audio. Yes, please. Leia?
Test?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Leia. I'm from 10-2. Technology can be very useful for us students to be more global. And by that, I mean to apply to study abroad. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. His name? Khairul. Mr. Khairul.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Khairul have studied in the UK. So can you please tell us your story of how you applied to study in the UK and maybe share some tips? Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there any other questions? No?
Yeah, we still
Collecting
open for the question. Yeah.
For, what is the name? Okay, I can see the name. Excuse me a second. Oh, Jennifer. Yes, please, Jennifer. Turn on your camera and turn on your audio. Yeah, Jennifer, please turn on your camera.
Okay, Miss, bentar, Miss.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
please. Go on.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Scott, and I'm from X1. I have a question. For example, if somebody wanted to pursue a career or in technology, what would be the best preparation as a teenager in high school to be able to pursue that and to have good preparation for that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Jennifer. Yeah. Maybe for 3 questions first, yeah. We will call again for Mr. Khairul. Mr. Khairul, can you hear me? I'm so sorry. Okay. Mr. Khairul. Okay, we are still waiting. It's okay. So we will collect the other questions first, yes?
From Noor Rashid. Noor Rashid, please introduce yourself and the class. Noor Rashid, maybe you can unmute your microphone first.
Okay,
we can hear you.
Well, okay, if there is a connection or something problem, you may chat your question, yeah? Mas Noor Rashid, I'm so sorry because I can't reach you. Well, so before for the next question, maybe I will call upon Mr. Khairul again. Mr. Khairul. Excuse me, Mr. Khairul. Okay. There is still a problem, maybe. Well, for the next question, for Mas Noor Rashid, you may text. You may text in the chat. And then for the following question, for Hastanti. Hastanti at the first, raise hand at the first. Could you please turn on your camera and unmute your audio?
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hastanti Norena Puspadevi. I'm from Tantu. I want to ask what we can do from support the digital learning, because in Indonesia we can know because it's not always we use on the Indonesia. So what we can do for the good.
For the good, what? Excuse me?
For the good
digital learning.
Yeah, for the digital learning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hastanti. Maybe we can go on to Abigail. Abigail, are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah.
So my name is Abigail from 10-1. I want to ask, do you think digital learning is still worth it to be implemented in school in remote areas? Because I think they still might hard to search for internet connection. That's it, and thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And then, how long, please, you may deliver your question. Because there were so many questions. Yeah, maybe we limit the question. And this is the last question. Yeah, you get the last lucky. Okay, 6 questions.
My name is Tawang Gedewa Alam. I'm from 12 Social 1. My question is very simple. Do you think, I have a feeling that digital learning and its concept was kind of caused by the need to, by the inability to not be face-to-face in learning. And when COVID's gone, basically you can go back to face-to-face learning. Do you think that digital learning along with its 3 concepts will survive? That's it. Thank you.
Okay. So you mean like hybrid then?
Okay, hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Yes, can we have the first question, please?
Yeah, okay. We have so many questions here, maybe from the first news, yeah.
Okay.
The first, Mr. Khairul. So glad to see you again, Mr. Okay. The first question.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How do we deal with misuse from the digital learning? Misuse. Sorry, yeah. Misuse. How do we deal with misuse of the digital learning? And the second, or maybe Mr. Khairul want to.
Okay, I interact one question at a time. Yeah, okay. How do we deal with misuse of digital learning? Well, that's why, as I mentioned, one way of dealing with this is that we need the parents to be also engaged in some of the learning process of the students so that they know what the students are learning. So they cannot be purely leaving the students to engage in the learning of this digital learning. Number 2 is that with the peers, they tend to be more, I mean to say they are protected, or we would say that the surrounding of the peers should check with each other, you know, that the colleague using the digital learning appropriately. It's not something that we leave it purely to the students. In fact, the counselors, the lecturers, the instructors still play a role in ensuring that the students are revising and doing the assignment and the project, what not being assigned to them to complete their syllabus structure or the course for that particular semester. So it's more of guided. It's not simply that, you know, you leave it to the student to learn at their without any I mean the parents observing. So that's why parents and also the lecturers and the counselors should play a role in ensuring that the student keep to engage the learning process in a way that help them to understand the subject better. It's not something that they should be doing or misuse the digital. So after all, I think this one, the bulk of the, I mean the person that is more responsible is actually the parents. The parents should know, so they cannot leave it to their son or their daughter to do without having checking on what they are doing. You know, so this is one way of to curb the what we call this abusing of this digital learning. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr.
So can we have the second question?
Yes, the second question is how to apply study to UK, since you are the
Yeah. Okay.
students from UK.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good question. Of course, I think that is a good ambition of a student to study abroad. In particular, from Asian countries, we go to developed countries like United States or the United Kingdom. They are more advanced in terms of knowledge, in terms of the resources available in that country are voluminous, with good faculty members there as well. So I would say that, of course, number one, you have to have a high performance in terms of your academic qualification. So the entry point is the qualification. You need to fulfill a certain merit of quality of your academic. And of course, number two, if you are your family can sponsor, that's not a big deal. But most cases like myself, I'm a government sponsored. So the merit is actually the qualification that allows you to study in the United Kingdom. Okay, and then of course you need a scholarship to help you to live there. In fact, the British pound is expensive as compared to rupiah or ringgit Malaysia. So that's why the cost of living there is a bit high. Next is that you need to keep abreast with the latest information. If talking about going to UK or US, because they are advanced country. So we need to, if for example, in our country, you know, we perform something like only 100%. There you have to perform 200%. It's just like an Olympic. You want to get into the Olympic, you have to meet a certain standard. So the standard there is very high. Asian standard low. So we have to double our effort. You need to put more effort. You need to put more study, because when you go to United Kingdom, you are exposed to the worldwide. All the students come all over the world. So the competition is very high. So that's why you have to be at high performance. So you have to study hard. You have to do extra effort. You have to show that you have the capability of getting as equivalent to the Americans or to the British in order to graduate there. So of course, number third is that your English proficiency. You need to be very conversant in English. You know, the way you write, like Shakespeare's literature, you can write very good English. So you have to practice a lot. You have to get good score for your examination in English. For example, the GMAT, the TOEFL, the IELTS. We have some cases, foreigners getting 9.0 out of 10, for example, for IELTS. So IELTS is also an entry point determining you able or not to study in United Kingdom. So those are the four things that I would advise the student who want to go to United Kingdom. And of course, number 5, you have to go to a very good university. So this is another issue. So get into top university in United Kingdom. That will be a good point because in top university, the resources there are very, it's a lot, you know, it's very rich of resources and easy for you to do research or to study there because the environment there are really conducive and the professors are very friendly. Okay, so you will learn with all the good professors or faculty members in good university. So that's my advice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And then there are still so many questions actually, but how the time is? Is it okay? Is it okay? One more question, maybe, one more. One more question. Is it possible, Mr. Khairul?
Yes, yes.
Actually, we have 15 minutes duration.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So one more question.
Yeah, you can read the question. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I will sum up it. The question is about pursue e-career. Right now, everything is in, you know, e-things, yeah, or technology. And then how about e-career that the students or the people that in the future they will reach better on, because everything in the digital things. About e-career, yeah, how preparation that we can prepare ourselves right now.
I don't get the question. I couldn't hear you very well. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, well, the question from Jennifer is about the best preparation to prepare to pursue e-career. The career in the future, yeah.
Okay.
In the digital age.
Yeah, okay. Basically, we are moving to digital economy.
Yeah, right.
In Malaysia, we are moving to digital economy. Everything has been digitalized. For example, in Malaysia, we have not only smart city, but we have the smart factory, we have the smart farming here, and we also need smart people to work. In other words, the traditional profession of individual will be diminishing, means that they will erode, and now we have the new profession in this era of digital economy. For example, we have like, you know, digital data analytics. We need people to deal with big data. We have data mining. We have the AI, artificial intelligence, AI. So those are the new jobs of digital in this digital economy. So my advice for the young generation, they have to be prepared because anything that we work now is technology based. You know, in Malaysia now, even everything that you do are basically we are talking about technology. Even they can you can read how many people around you are having COVID, for example. So all those data are via digital. So there's no way of us looking backward. So the new era of jobs are digitalized based jobs. So that's what I can share. So the career more of computerization and of technology based.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we go on, yeah. Because the students are willing to hear the answer, so we can go on into the next questions. That is by Hastanti. Hastanti asks what we can do to support digital learning. Since Hastanti in the high school, or
to support digital learning.
Yeah, what can we do?
Okay. All right. Thank you for the question. Of course, for this digital learning is that we need to sometimes students from remote areas, they have a problem of connection. So this is where now the world are moving from 4G to 5G, for example. So fifth generation learning to take place. Of course, along the way, we have to make sure that we have all those technology available so that this integration of technology would then make smooth for the student to learn. So is teaching aids, like for example, in our university, we not only
Mr. Khairul? Okay. I think there is a connection there. But so before we continue, yeah, maybe we will have the profile video. Profile video. It will be delivered.
Sorry, the connection.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Mr. Khairul. Can we maybe bridge first for the video profile? For the video profile, it will be delivered by Dr. Lina Theo. It will share information about you and I and like.
Thank you.
So this was the video, yeah.
UNIMY is also collaborating with its parent company, Cyberdynamic Holdings Berhad, and the Virtual Park to provide internships and job opportunities to our graduates. Is the profile from the University of Computer Science and Engineering when I am white. And then following the profile video, there will be some information delivered by Miss Lina. Yeah, Miss Lina. Miss Lina. Hi, Richie. Good afternoon, Miss Lina. Because there is a connection problem from Mr. Khairul, so I'm so sorry that we must move to other agenda first. Yeah, if there is a possibility to reach him again, we will come to him again. For Miss Lina. Good afternoon, Miss Lina.
Oke, selamat siang semua ya.
Selamat siang ya, good afternoon.
Halo, selamat siang semuanya.
Iya,
Ini dengan Lina ya. Selamat siang Pak Sutana, salam kenal dari UNIMY. Ya, Lina perkenalkan diri Lina dulu. Udah makan semuanya ya?
Sudah.
Already
Ya,
have
dengan Miss Lina
ya? Oke, Lina ini dari Indonesia. I'm from Indonesia and I work in Lincoln University College as a Director of International Marketing. Boleh dengar? Eko ya?
Iya, Eko. Do you post someone also using a Zoom?
Halo.
Ya, masih
Bentar.
Ibu di ruangan, are you in the room? Miss Lina? Okay, Miss Lina masuk ya. Looking for the other place ya, Miss? Iya, oke. So nanti untuk teman-teman semua, for all the students that you want to get any information about this university, you want to study abroad, so pay attention to this information that is from University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering. Ya, jadi yang misalnya tanya ke UA to ask about how to study abroad and something like that.
Yes.
Ya, Miss Lina?
Boleh ya? Bukan.
Oke, masih ada problem with the audio, but it's okay. But before it, I will say apologize for the student that maybe the question there is no answer yet, but don't be worried. We can reach for University Malaysia Computer Science and Engineering or UNIMY. So we can listen to giving the explanation. Well, Miss Lina.
Yes, so sorry, I'm not sure because we have two laptops here, so the voice was like echoing, like I was in a mountain. Can you hear me very clear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, jelas, Miss. That's so clear.
Sebentar, kalau
Miss again. We lost your voice.
Please be patient because this is the problem if we doing.
Sorry, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, no clearly.
All right, sure. So actually, Lina ngobrolnya campur-campur ya?
Ya, oke, nggak apa-apa.
Lebih enak begitu ya, biar nggak ngantuk semuanya. Kita ngopi dulu Pak Sutana. Terima kasih ya sudah diberikan waktunya kepada UNIMY dan kepada Lina juga dengan Prof Khairul. So sekarang ini kalau dari pihak Lina kita tidak ngambil banyak waktu ya, biar nggak tertidur nanti semuanya kalau mendengarkan Lina. Ya, Lina ini orang Indonesia Pak, udah 3 tahun Lina di Malaysia, tidak boleh pulang ya karena masa pandemik. Ya. Jadinya Linanya juga karena masa pandemik ini semuanya teknologi itu berjalan dari mulai kita mengetahui cara membuat Grab food, online ini, online itu, anak-anak juga bisa mendapatkan banyak apa itu kalau kita bilang side income while you are doing something like TikTok, influencer, then that one we found out when the MCO time. Actually, MCO is quite good for that. But because of that, we cannot go, like me, I cannot go back Indonesia, and then the students also cannot come here. All right, so there is a pro and contra, but for these digital, that's why from our side, marketing, I would like to present how is the life in Malaysia. Kalau kebanyakan anak-anak Indonesia itu kan dia begini, nanti kalau saya ke Malaysia ngapain? Di UNIMY itu bener gak ada UNIMY-nya? Atau gambarnya saja seperti itu ya. Jadi karena kita sama-sama orang Indonesia juga, makanya Lina bilang ayo kita melihat keluar itu, bukannya di Indonesia itu nggak bagus, malah lebih bagus di Indonesia, lebih pinter lagi barang-barang teknologinya kita gitu ya. Kalau dibilang mau internetan, tiktokan, mah lebih pinteran sono. Mau manggil Grab food atau abang Gojek, di sini mah nggak ada Gojek. Di Malaysia nggak ada Gojek, adanya Grab, orang Grab food. Ya, lebih pintar di situ, cuman
kita melihat lebih luas lagi. How is dia punya nilai-nilai, informations, kehidupan orang di sini seperti itu. Makanya kalau di Malaysia ini di UNIMY kita juga membuat acara yang seperti kalau kita student exchange ya, student exchange yang kita bilang summer camp in Malaysia. So that's why when the students, kalau kita bilang kadang-kadang kalau study tour, habis study tour itu kemana? Ke Bali, ke Jakarta. Oh bagus sekali pemandangan di sana memang. Tapi kenapa kita tidak keluar? Biayanya mahal? Enggak mahal-mahal. Sama saja biayanya ke Bali dengan ke Malaysia. Tapi ke Malaysia itu kenapa? Kenapa kita mesti keluar negeri? We get the what you call pengetahuannya mereka, ilmunya mereka. Itulah yang kita akan menanamkan kembali ke Indonesia, apa yang kita pelajari. So kalau anak-anak yang berminat untuk sekolah di Malaysia itu di UNIMY, especially because we are the Malaysia Premier Digital Technology in di Malaysia, yang premier, yang paling atas, yang paling bagus. Mau dibilang paling bagus, iyalah karena sekolahnya kita seperti itu. Nah, sedikit Lina kasih lihat slide-nya ya. Mungkin anak-anak pengen lihat UNIMY itu seperti apa, sekolahnya seperti apa. Jadi Lina kasih ya, tolong sharing. Nah, kita from my side, I would like to introduce you the UNIMY, our university, Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, and we are very focused on this dalam computer science dengan engineering. Kita juga punya bisnis yang bisnis teknologi. Jadi kalau kita bilang anak-anak SMA 1 Batik ya, di Surakarta itu di Jogja ya? Di Solo. Oh di Solo, waduh. Itu mah nasi liwetnya enak banget. Kalau di Solo. Saya sering ke Solo karena seminar dulunya di Solo. Jadi kadang-kadang saya kalau saya bawa Prof Khairul, saya bilang, Prof jom kita makan, ayo kita makan nasi liwet. Mau lewat mana Lina? Katanya. Padahal nasi liwetnya itu enak banget. Tapi sama dia, lewat mana nasinya? Bukan lewat mana, liwet. Itu enak sekali itu makanannya. Apalagi kalau iniin sama apa tuh? Kalau di Malaysia kita kan makannya di kafe, dengar kafe. Kalau di sana sambil dengar itu loh. Ada pernah sekali ibu-ibu itu pakai keroncongan Bengawan Solo. Waduh, bagus sekali itu. Sambil makan nasi liwet di sono. Enak sekali ya. Enak sekali. Paten banget deh. Nah, oke, next slide. Next. Oke, seperti kata Pak Jokowi, kalau Rina bilang Pak Jokowi itu kan memang menanamkan ilmu kepada anak-anak, biar anak-anak itu semuanya mesti belajar, sampai tua-tua juga mesti belajar. Kayak Lina nih udah tua begini juga masih belajar gitu loh, masih tuir juga belajar. Nah katanya Pak Jokowi itu, where we see challenges, I see opportunities. Indonesia, challenges are your opportunities. So, setiap itu kita punya challenges itu percobaan, tapi itulah kesempatan kita untuk lebih maju. Itu kata Pak Jokowi. Saya salut banget dengan Pak Jokowi, presiden kita ini, ya kan? So next slide. Di UNIMY, we have why you need to study in UNIMY. Nanti kadang-kadang orang tanya, kenapa di UNIMY, kenapa nggak di sekolah di universitas lain? But the UNIMY we are special because we have a premier digital technology. And then kita fokus dari 8 teknologi area for IR 4.0. Sekarang sudah mau masuk 5.0 kan? And then owned by the industry. Because after you study here, then we will send you like internship. Kalau kita bilang di Indonesia itu magang. Nah, kita akan masukkan magang. Jadi kalau pas lagi magang selama 3 bulan, ada yang magang 6 bulan. That time kalau misalnya company-nya seperti Dell, kita ada beberapa anak masuk ke Dell. Mereka kalau benar-benar gini loh, the knowledge is good, and then they really likes the students who are having an internship there, mereka akan ambil untuk bekerja di sana. Ada yang students kita juga ada yang masuk ke Google, ada Google Office-nya di dekat sini, dekat Mid Valley. And then is 100% job employability with a 6 month experience lecturers. Dan semua lecturers kita itu profesor, seperti kayak tadi Prof Dr. Khairul is our best professor yang tentang ini memberikan ilmu yang lebih mudah dicerna sama anak-anak kan. Next. Okay, in UNIMY kita punya dari our pathway is from foundations, diploma, and bachelor program. And then one more thing, until postgraduate sampai S3. Kita dari foundation, kita punya diploma, kita boleh ke S1, kita punya S2 sampai ke S3. Next. Oke, ini hanya sekedar beberapa tentang foundations yang dipelajari sama anak-anak. Kalau di Malaysia itu kita kalau belajar itu bukan hanya belajar di sekolah, itu kehidupan belajar di sekolah dengan kehidupan di kampus jauh berbeda. Sangat sekali jauh sekali. Di Malaysia itu kebanyakan sekolahnya itu lebih banyak memakai critical thinking. Makanya sama dengan, and then another thing is that entrepreneurship, they would like you to learn after setelah selesai. Sebenarnya kalau kita tidak dalam misalnya engineering, kita bisa jadi seorang entrepreneurship juga untuk membuka bisnis sendiri atau mungkin buat side income seperti itu. Okay, then next. This is the education pathway that you're gonna see. If anyone's wanna ask the questions, dia daripada foundations terus S1, S2 sampai ke S3. Kita sampai S3 PhD in research. Tapi kalau misalnya anak-anak SMA daripada batik ini, mereka sampai SMA 3 ya, selesai, means year 12. Kalau dekat sekolah grade year 12, mereka nggak usah masuk foundation biasanya. Tapi mesti dilihat dulu transkripnya nanti. Apakah sesuai. Dan satu lagi, kalau di UNIMY, kita itu sudah akreditasi daripada pemerintah Indonesia, daripada Dikti. Jadi anak-anak yang sekolah di UNIMY itu, kalau pulang itu jangan takut kalau Miss, saya itu nanti diakui nggak sama Dikti? Diakui sama Dikti, even though sampai S3. Sampai ke PhD kita juga selama 3 tahun itu juga diakui sama Dikti. Okay, next. Ini yang tadi sudah dikasih tahu sama Prof juga, di mana kita punya academic programs itu daripada diploma, foundation, degree, sama postgraduate. Ya, nanti Lina sharekan dengan SMA 1 Batik the program that we have. Okay, next. Ya, inilah kampus kita yang berada di, kita bilang ini smart campus karena dia berada di Cyberjaya. Udah pernah ke Malaysia? Ada yang udah pernah ke Malaysia? Ada yang udah pernah ke Malaysia? MC-nya sudah pernah ke Malaysia? Belum. After this ya. Katanya mereka itu begini. Di Indonesia itu sekarang kuarantinnya udah mau dibuang ya setelah bulan 4 ya.
Di Indonesia sekarang,
sekarang masih 5 hari. Ya, sekarang masih 5 hari. So, katanya si kuarantinnya setelah bulan 4 itu tidak ada kuarantin lagi kalau kita balik ke Indonesia ataupun mau ke Malaysia. So, kita tunggu, kita sekarang ini dari buat summer camp-nya bisa di 3 hari, 4 hari. So, itu senang banget nanti kalau ke UNIMY itu nanti Lina bawa ke jalan. So di UNIMY kita itu di call it a smart campus di dekat Cyberjaya ya. Okay, next. Lina bawa jalan-jalan di kampusnya ini sekarang. Okay, next. Oke, inilah fasilitas yang ada di UNIMY. Ini kampusnya kita itu seperti ini bentuknya di dalam. Dia itu berbeda sekali dengan sekolah. Jadi kalau kehidupan di sekolah itu tiba-tiba masuk ke kampus itu kita lebih casual ya, seperti yang dilihat di TV Korea begitu ya, seperti itulah kita. Oke, next. Ini classroom yang kita ada sekarang ini. Jadi kalau misalnya itu kita punya gym. Di UNIMY we have gym. So when you feel stressed a little bit or you feel a little bit put on weight, bukan gemuk tahu. Sedikit melebar broadband, kita boleh pergi ke gym. Kita punya gym di UNIMY, and then kita punya cafe di UNIMY. Okay, next. Dan kita punya halaman seperti ini. Kalau when seperti di kampus-kampus kita itu kehidupan di kampus di UNIMY ini Lina kasih tahu karena perbedaannya dengan di sekolah-sekolah. Kalau di Indonesia sekolah-sekolah itu kan kalau mereka tuh hanya mempunyai kalau udah bagus itu lapangan sepak bola aja udah bagus banget, punya lapangan basket gitu. Tapi kalau di UNIMY ini kita punya environment yang membuat kamu itu tidak stres karena belajar itu stres sekali seperti itu. Oke, next. Ini classroom yang kita ada, dan kita boleh bergambar-gambar di classroomnya juga. Karena dengan classroom yang berwarna-warni ini kita itu seperti kalau dilihat, when you see the computer, right? Komputer itu punya attractive colors, attractive tempat itu, ya seperti itulah kita UNIMY. Jadi dia tidak bosan untuk masuk ke kelas itu, tidak bosan karena ada attractive dari permainan di otak kalau kita bilang. Jadi kalau mau masuk ke kelas itu dengan warna-warni, dengan classroom yang berbeda itu kita punya apa tuh kalau dibilang imun tubuhnya lebih, wow saya besok ke kelas ini, besok ke kelas ini, seperti itu. Oke, next. Ini library-nya kita, apa itu classroom-nya kita boleh ngobrol casual talk also dekat di situ juga. Iya. Oke, next. Nah, kita di UNIMY ini anak-anak yang whoever study in UNIMY, we have the club. So you can join any clubs that we have, and then you just choose mana klub yang kamu paling suka, atau klub multimedia dengan klub yang ada sih, ada sport. So you sport, e-sport. So you can choose klub mana yang mau ikut. Soalnya kita kalau we call it a social life. So your life will be after work, after study, bukannya hanya cuma pulang di rumah tidur. Kita punya klub yang boleh bercerita dengan teman-teman, and from the club you can meet a lot of people, because kita punya anak-anak sekolah yang sekolah di UNIMY itu daripada country yang berbeda-beda. Kita daripada Asia, kita punya yang dari Uzbekistan, kita punya Jepang, kita punya Korea, so itu semua bercampur jadi satu. Oke, next. This is the lifestyle that we have. Jangan takut kalau saya di UNIMY nanti tidur di mana? Di kaki lima. Enggak. Kita punya kos-kosannya di Malaysia itu, di UNIMY itu kita memasukkan, we put the students into like apartment, which is like 3 rooms that we share two person. Sometimes we will see. Kehidupan di Malaysia juga nggak mahal. Kalau dibilang harganya di Indonesia itu kan sekarang RM1 itu dalam 3.500. Jadi kehidupan di Malaysia, kalau mami mempunyai tanya mahal nggak? Enggak, 1.000 cukup, 3.500.000 itu juga udah lebih. Itu juga udah lebih. Tapi but you cannot go see movie every day kan ya. Kalau lihat kalau di sini dibilang lihat wayang. Bukan wayang kulit ya, bukan, bioskop ya. Jadi kalau lihat bioskop itu kalau orang Malaysia bilangnya lihat wayang. Nah itu harganya juga nggak sampai juga 30.000, masih murah. Jadi hostelnya ini accommodation yang untuk anak-anak yang dari Indonesia atau anak-anak yang internasional yang datang, mereka ada kolam berenangnya, ada basketballnya, itu sesuai. Dan juga kita juga di dekat-dekat dengan Cyberjaya ini, dekat-dekat dengan Putrajaya. So you can just have seperti ini. Kalau Lina Tarok itu anak-anak sekolahnya lagi main sampan, seperti itu. Enak ya kehidupannya gitu loh. Jadi nggak stres. Oke, next. Di sini juga ada mallnya. Kalau misalnya when you mau makan, mau apa aja, itu gampang. Itu aksesnya gampang sekali. Dan kita juga punya pengangkutan yang bisa membawa anak-anak yang misalnya kalau misalnya tinggal sekitar sini ke hostelnya, atau mau membeli barang atau kemana, itu lebih gampang. Kita punya van yang untuk menjemput anak-anak setiap hari, seperti itu. Oke, next. I share with you my contact punya Lina. If anything boleh WhatsApp Miss Lina, atau boleh juga aduh lupa Lina taruh, Lina punya email. Boleh juga di email untuk Lina, lina.tio@unimy.com.my. Itu saja dari Lina sedikit. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih juga buat Miss Lina. Thank you so much. Tadi aslinya mana, Miss? Indonesianya aslinya dari mana?
Saya aslinya dari Medan.
Oh, Medan.
Sumatera Utara. Dibilangin orang-orang, tapi kalau di Malaysia ini mukanya Lina aja mukanya Cina. Terus ditanyain begini, Lina orang Cina? Bukan. Orang Indonesia. Dan tetap orang Indonesia gitu loh. Aduh. Ya matur nuwun.
Baik, Lina, terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih, matur nuwun.
Informasinya. Semoga kita bisa silaturahmi ke
Iya,
Malaysia.
saya pengen makan
Naik
nasi
up ke
liwet.
level 3.
Nanti bapaknya ke sini, Lina traktirin makan roti canai.
Oh, siap.
Ya. Nah, tapi Lina kesananya ditraktirin makan nasi liwet ya.
Oh, siap.
Ya, mantap.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
For the next, maybe from Mrs. Sri Munarsyid ini. Miss Lina ini adalah humas dari SMA Batik 1. Ibu Sri Munarsyid ingin menyampaikan sesuatu. Silakan Ibu.
Siap. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam Ibu Sri.
Yang terhormat Master Khairul, kemudian Miss Lina, Bapak Stana, selaku Kepala Sekolah SMA Batik 1 Surakarta, dan teman-teman yang sudah mengadakan kegiatan ini, dan semua anak-anakku yang tersayang, terkasih, dambaan kedua orang tua, hebat. Izinkan saya selaku humas ini, Bu Asis atau Miss Asik. Acara ini memang benar-benar kami tunggu-tunggu, sehingga kami selaku humas benar-benar bangga dan senang. Monggo nanti ditindaklanjuti, ini program sekolah dari oleh untuk anak-anakku semuanya. Jadi Miss Lina, ayo ke Solo, nanti kita jalan-jalan ke keraton.
Jalan-jalan ke keraton.
Ke Mangkunegaran atau ke keraton Solo, ke Jogja. Nanti selalu didampingi oleh Miss Widria dan Miss Sita.
Boleh.
Kemudian sekali lagi, ini program sekolah yang harus terrealisasi. Insya Allah kalau semuanya sudah keadaan membaik, nanti kita bisa ketemu luring. Saya kira itu dulu. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak. Matur nuwun.
Thank you. Let's go internasional.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, terima kasih sekali Ibu Asep. Harapannya kita bisa bekerja sama dengan UNIMY ke depan dengan lebih leluasa lagi, dan kita bisa bersilaturahmi ke negara masing-masing. Sebelum itu terjadi, mungkin kita bisa menindaklanjuti dalam program online learning ini ya, dengan MOU, dan ini adalah kegiatan yang sangat bermanfaat bagi siswa tentu saja.
Betul.
Harapannya bisa kita tindaklanjuti bersama. Setelah ini, insya Allah akan ada online meeting selanjutnya with UNIMY.
Ada minta.
Iya. Is it enough, Miss Lina? Your presentation or explanation? Sudah cukup?
Ya, terima kasih banyak. Dari pihak UNIMY juga kita minta maaf ya, karena mungkin tadi Prof Khairul connection-nya kurang bagus dari pihak sini. Jadi kalau ada yang salah, kita minta maaf.
Ya, kami memaklumi Miss Lina. Ada trouble in online digital learning, itu sudah menjadi kewajaran. Kemudian untuk para siswa yang tadi bertanya, jangan khawatir, nanti akan dijawab oleh Prof Khairul. Segera setelah ini kami akan email ke beliau, dan beliau akan menjawab secara email. Begitu. Okay. And then now we are in the end of the agenda, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for all the participants, especially for Professor Dr. Khairul bin Mohd, and then for all of the staff, for Miss Lina, and then all of the committee behind it. We are so thank you of you, and then also for all of the teachers of SMA Batik Surakarta, and then also all of the teams, IC teams, and then the what is it, to help this Zoom meeting, the team behind also, we also thank you. And then for all of the students that being active in this meeting also here, so we say thank you so much for that. And then I would apologize if there is a mistake from during this attendance. Right. And then to end this meeting, let's say Alhamdulillah together.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim.
Thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
recording can be seen in in YouTube as
YouTube.
Batik Satu Surakarta. So
Thank you, Miss Lina.
Terima kasih semuanya.
Terima kasih,
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Miss Lina.
Ditunggu di Malaysia ya. Ditunggu di Malaysia.
UNIMY.
Siap, Mr. Lina.
Ya.
Nasi liwetnya siap, Mr. Lina.
Terima kasih.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Saya pamit dulu ya.
SMA Batik Satu Surakarta was developed from a Batik culture, a noble culture of Batik that builds character, excellence, and human dignity. It is our hope that each student who leaves this place of education will be skillful, religious, and have well-balanced characters.
SMA Batik Satu Surakarta aims to create excellent, disciplined, religious, and high achievement students.
In the future, it won't be only intelligence that is necessary for our life. We must also master other essential factors. These include skills in information technology, soft skills, character building, and how to successfully network with others. In mastering these, one can surely face the competitive future world. These factors can be achieved through education, by choosing the right school as a facilitator equipped with well-trained teachers, a supportive library, advanced technology, a cozy learning environment, and many other supported facilities. Networking is also another factor in preparing oneself to face this global world. When someone has these factors mentioned above, it can be guaranteed that he will be undoubtedly ready to face the competitive global world. Our international class of SMA Batik Satu Surakarta has provided all of these. Not only do we offer the standard K through 13 curriculum, but we also provide A-level Cambridge material here at our international class.
Well, international class propose K13 plus A-level curriculum in Cambridge to enrich students' English skill. As Indonesian, we can't forget our cultural value, That's why we offer character building and ICT skill in teaching. Meanwhile, the teachers are well trained in English skill for social and science subjects. International class also provide native speaker and extensive social networking to prepare the students to face global world.
This English-based learning approach will be applied here for our lessons in the international class. Our teachers are well trained to teach and communicate in English in both social and science subjects, as well as mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, sociology, geography, and economics. Native teachers and speakers will also be present here in the learning experience to enrich your students' English skills. A comfortable and satisfying learning environment can indeed be found here on these premises. Clean and comfortable high-tech classrooms, a complete and sophisticated school library, as well as extracurricular activities with which to develop the students' soft skills are provided here at the international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta.
SMA Batik 1 has a lot of things to support our interests. I'm glad that I have learned and improved my soft skill in here. Learning Indonesian traditional music ensemble, gamelan, makes me feel proud to be Indonesian next generation. I gain a lot of things in here because SMA Batik 1 is the school that has international standards.
To establish extensive social networking, we provide a comparative field of study abroad. The international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has also collaborated with universities abroad such as UTM, University Technical Malaysia Malacca, Raja Mangala University of Technology Kruntep Thailand, Life Universal Cambodia, Glasgow Caledonian University Scotland, and Chemical Institute of Sharia, Spain.
I was beyond happy that SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has given me a chance to represent Indonesia as a performer on an international level through the Chingai Parade. I learned and I gained a lot. I got to show off my traditional dancing ability. I got a chance to meet the Singapore president. I also went to the Indonesian embassy there, and I also met lots of amazing performers from all around the world. SMA Batik 1 Surakarta has prepared for our English speaking ability so that I have become more confident in speaking English.
So what are you waiting for? Achieve a bright future and become a generation ready for the ever-changing world of challenges by joining the international class of SMA Batik 1 Surakarta. As always, we thank you for your visit, and we truly look forward to learning with you soon. See you in class.